Hello boys and girls, welcome to Mrs. Bandu's Math Movies. This is lesson 3-1 for course 2, estimating with fractions and mixed numbers. Okay, we have a couple of, actually just one definition, and then we will get into examples. Some of what we're doing in this section is similar to what we've already done this year. Our definition in this section is benchmark. A benchmark is defined as a convenient number used to replace fractions less than 1. Okay, so when we're looking at numbers that are less than 1, we can, instead of rounding them always to 0 or 1 whole, we can think of it on the continuum from 0 to positive 1. Okay, so 0, and then right here, halfway through would be the fraction 1/2, and then the whole number 1. So your three benchmarks that we use are 0, 1/2, and 1 whole. The examples here, 2/9 is a little bit less, is actually less than 1/2, it's even less than 1/4. We would round that down to 0 with a benchmark. 4/9 and 7/12, neither is exactly 1/2, but both are very close to the fraction 1/2. So when we're using benchmarks, we would round each of those to 1/2. Something like 7/8 is very close to 1 whole, so using a benchmark, we would round that to 1 whole. Okay, so again, these are for fractions less than 1. It's just so that we don't always round everything to 0 or 1 and then all of our answers are 0 or 1 or something like that. Okay, now let's look at some examples here. Using benchmarks with fractions. We want to use benchmarks to estimate 4/7 plus 4/5. 4/7 is very close to 1/2. Half of 7 is 3.5, so that's just slightly more than a half. 4/5 is very close to 1 whole, so I would benchmark that as 1. Okay, so when I add those together, that gives me 1 1/2. So again, here I used my benchmarks to estimate each fraction. Okay, now here is a case where I'm estimating with mixed numbers. When we do with mixed numbers, generally I recommend to round to the nearest whole number. Okay, so 5/9 to the nearest whole number is 5. 5 1/9 to the nearest whole number is 5. And then 2 5/6 to the nearest whole number is 3. So 5 minus 3 is 2. Remember, boys and girls, that in estimation you round first and then you add or subtract, multiply or divide. Okay, here are a couple of quick check questions. You can pause the video right now and do them, or you can come back to them and do them later. I'm going to continue on to our next example. This one is estimating with mixed numbers. Estimate the product 6 1/8 times 6 5/6. Let me try to zoom that a little bit more for you. There you go. Okay, so what we want to do here is we're going to round each number, each mixed number, to the nearest whole number and then multiply. Okay, 6 1/8 is closest to 6. 6 5/8 to the nearest whole number is 7. So 6 times 7 is 42. We round first and then we multiply. So the estimate here is 42. Estimating with compatible numbers. If you'll recall, I believe it was back in chapter 1 we talked about compatible numbers, and those were basically defined as numbers that work together very well. And we use them particularly with division so that when we estimate, we don't get round numbers or make our problem actually harder than it needs to be. Okay, so in this case, because it is 26 1/4 divided by 8 2/3, we're going to use compatible numbers. Okay, so when I look at 26 1/4 and 8 2/3, I think what two numbers are those fairly close to? Remember, and I don't have to follow the strict rounding rules. I'm going to say that 26 1/4 is really close to 27, and that would make a nice partner if I round 8 2/3 to 9. So 27 and 9 would be my compatible numbers here. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Okay. Remember, on compatible numbers, again, we are not following strict rounding rules, so you do have some leeway as to what kind of answers or where your answers end up. Even so, they're going to be fairly close if you choose some good compatible numbers. Okay, we have a few more quick checks here. At this point in time, you need to be sure that all the quick checks are done and ready to review in class. Please bring in any questions that you might have. I'll see you soon. Thank you.